But okie dokie. So what kind of character do we want to jump into now? So we've done casters, rangers, melee throwers. It's been a decent mix. I mean, it's been a long time since I went with Knoll, so that could be an option. I should also potentially just glance back at my polytheist progress sheet here. Yeah, we could do Knoll of Ash. Works pretty well generally. You can kind of take the curses that best suit the equipment you're getting and kind of use that to, I don't know, synergize with the Knolls all across the board, kind of jack of all trades approach, and get that little bit of focus you need to just bring it up over the edge. When you don't know what to do, Knoll can do it all. You're not wrong. So let's try it out. And, of course, in Grand Tradition, I think Knoll Wanderer is going to be the way to go. You tried a Knoll run recently, felt really strong early game, then got weak around Snake. Yeah, it's pretty dependent on what you're picking up. Early game can be fairly smooth. In that middle part of the game, I think you're struggling with the fact that none of your skills are as high, like your primary skills, none of them are as high as you'd like them to be. You know, you're not swinging your weapon at min delay yet, even though you're a decent ways into the mid game. So you generally have to, push through that. And then once you are able to do so, then you start to go back into God mode, where you're just swapping between every spell, weapon, and skill in the book, and things are going fairly smoothly. In fact, looking back on our troll, I just now realized we got 0 rechargeable evocables. That's a shame. But anyway, enough ruminating on the past. It's just naturally brains sounds good to me. It's funny because Knolls and Genie are now the only 2 species that I can, with a decent amount of regularity, come up with names for, and it's because I do my silly little pick a name that starts with N and swap it out. So I'm glad though still to take a suggestion, because at the end of the day, it's a little bit of overhead off our plate. So as the Wanderer, we got axes, which I love to see, fighting, some defensive skills. I don't like that we got 7.7 in stealth, because I am hoping we'll never have to use this as long as we live here. But I guess we'll see how it goes. And then of course, let's do the rest of our general setup here as well. I will have it set to pick up all talismans for the time being. And last but not least, dump that morgue file so we can shimmy on over here, grab this, blind ourselves with the lumens of 1,000 suns. And let's replace that game seed on screen here, just in case any of you are playing along at home and want to see how you fare in this setup. Ooh, Minor Magic book could come into play relatively early on here. We will need to wait for at least a bit of training even to use the level 1 spells. At least that's my impression. Yeah, 50% cast rate is not ideal. And we do already find a talisman as well. If we did decide to pivot that direction. Oh, we got Olgreb's favorite book here. Has Fridge and Toxic Radiance. How about that? You can tell I'm used to playing Troll, as I'm just wandering face first into everything, spam the tab key. I mean, it's kind of working out, so that's fine. That's very fair, Dan Brandy. I feel like Knolls are a little dependent on what you find. Kind of how the early game sets the pace for how the rest of the run will go. I feel like they've always worked well for me because I like being adaptive. I like being able to use any of the artifacts we find lying around, and so it feels good in my brain when we are able to have that, I don't know, dynamic aspect to the run and keep it flowing, if that makes any amount of sense. But we shall see how it leads off. I guess this is kind of where we dictate a little bit what kind of pace we want to set. I think we'll probably go into strength and just do a melee character. Knoll casters can be good, but generally that's beyond a 3rd rune game. Because a 3rd rune game, you won't quite have the ability to cast any decent level spells. You like that too? You just never made it work? Completely fair. Again, even if it's well suited to your playstyle, if you don't get the pieces you need, it can be rough to get it off the ground for sure. They don't quite have the, survivability or sustainability of some of the bigger races and the harder hitting ones. This dagger is kind of interesting. Don't see a heavy dagger very often for sure. 11 base or damage rating. Interesting. Really good resistances on it, which is why I was bothering to even pick it up and take a look. Because I definitely would not mind being resistant to cold fire and poison on D2 of the dungeon. But we'll carry it around for an emergency. Unfortunately, it's not exactly a stat stick because it has the drain ego on it, so not exactly conducive to hot swapping, but in a crunch, that'll do. At least that's the hope. Okay, distant drain, so not too far from it here, but not right on top of it either. Please no priest. Okay, looks to be no priest quite yet. Now we're seeing very distant, so let's actually put this caboose into reverse, and we'll head this a ways and hope that we can get another message in the near future. It's back to being just distant, so maybe it's down this way. Oh, that looks like a sewer wall. You know, I've been around plenty of sewers. Before I became a dungeon delver, I was actually a plumber in my Knoll village back home. Not many people know that, so this, my friends, is familiar territory. Oof, that's a lot of curari. Do I really turn into a tree? I think I kind of have to. I need the poison to stop. Does mean that I need to work out some other options here. Wait, I'm still getting more poisoned? Oh, I was not paying attention. Potion of haste. Gosh darn it. Oh, me oh my. For all my big talk about how well our Knoll will go. But hey, let's just, from the top, walk it back. Should have maybe gone with Lig a bit earlier. Noticed that buddy had Curari was step number 1. Then maybe Lig. Even if we could just hit one of our darts, that would have been nice. Curari's cruel. Just that early on. I was not exactly set up to be prepared for it. But okay, this time our Wanderer gets some spell casting, good evo, bit of fighting, defensive skills are looking okay. All in all, can't complain about any of that too much, but we will do another quick run through all of our starting routine here. Get everything set up. Get that son of a gun out of there as soon as possible. Okay, second time's the charm. I do like that we started as a caster, but we're also in ring mail, so there's no shot I can cast Foxfire, right? 37% is better than I thought. The main issue here is that a club is arguably just the worst weapon in the game, so I'm hoping that we can replace that son of a gun pretty soon here. Ash, Lugonu, and Fedhas, I don't think we've won with any of these people. Ash? No. Fedhas? No. Lugonu? No. Don't mind if I do. Lugonu. Okay, so a bit of a change of plans here. But Lugonu can definitely work. Very strong god for a 3-rune game. Once we get them online, we do have to survive long enough for that to be a possibility, though. So that's going to be the hard part. Oh, man, do I hit no weapons yet? Come on, Bessie, you can do it. Perfect. Big kobolds are nasty since they started having Curari so often. Yeah, if you're not set up for them, or if they just come too early. That was quite a young run yet. Does it make sense? Okay, I'm gonna swap into the whip, because yeah, damage rating of 5, we can at least go up to 6 with the whip. Still not good, but better. Oh, and speaking of better, I think spear is one of my favorite weapons for no training. You're on floor 1, and it's all of the basic weapons that you'd kind of expect to see on floor 1. I think short sword is up there, and spear definitely is, because at least with the reach, you kind of get around some of the complicating factors of having a slow attack delay. Getting in that early hit at least, softening things up. It looks like tree gives resist poison and not immunity, so it has a 66% chance of working. I guess it is what it is. I know, riddle me this, DCSS, when was the last time you saw a tree get poisoned? Just saying. But hey, teach their own. Definitely take care of the ribbon worm, just barely. A bit closer than I would have liked. And I, of course, am just being a little tongue-in-cheek there. At the end of the day, that makes sense, and unfortunately, the die were not ever in our favor. Ooh, Lagitang is another one of those very strong early weapons. Struggling on floor 1 is kind of tough. Hey, that's the Knoll Wanderer lifestyle. If you just happen to get something with no weapon or with nothing but a club, such is the way of the world, unfortunately. But hey, nothing we can't overcome, nothing we can't surmount with a little bit of elbow grease and gumption. A +2 Morning Star. I think this buddy just kills us. But not if I do that first. Hell yeah, brother. Okay, we're going strength. I'm actually probably going to take the Morning Star. Damage rating goes up a heck of a lot. Attack delay is quite a bit worse. Don't hate it though. Lecheng is a kind of a very strong Knoll weapon in general. Well, right, I don't even know if we have to clarify it with the Knoll there. At the end of the day, it's just such a strong weapon. You know, barring nothing, really. So always happy to see it for sure. Helmet is lovely. Let's try and get a little bit more armor. I mean, we're looking pretty intense here. Whenever I see the full plated helmet with the horns, all I can think of is Sarvok from the original Baldur's Gate. Which again, if your goal in life is to strike fear into your enemies with simply your visage, then probably not really going about it the wrong way there. I can get behind this. Would like some slightly heavier armor. I'd also like this Orc Priest to leave this plane of existence, and they did acquiesce to our request. Ooh, the Flail of the Hero, a protection flail with fire resistance. An evocable blink. Well, now we just need money. Oops, no, let's not spend all of our money on a potion of mutation, please and thank you. But if we can get, I mean, would it be too much to ask for a like D3 scroll of acquirement? Probably. And yet, I will still find myself asking for such because it would definitely make our lives a hell of a lot more straightforward. I want to get into, where's the most ideal position for this? Probably back over this way. Looking for a position where we're not going to be worrying too much about the Orc Priest. And we'll be able to kill them as soon as they show their face. Fantastic. Oh my gosh, we only have 10 health. You deal 6. We have 6 AC. What a coincidence. Okay, never mind. They are just dead, so fantastic. Gozag, unfortunately, as much as I hate to even utter the words, unfortunately we've already won with Gozag in our polytheist attempts, so my favorite deity is gonna have to take a back seat for now. Oh my gosh, whoa, back it up. Back it on up here, +8 chainmail. Okie dokie. Well, that again sets the pace for us here. Do love that. Godbrun's Ogre. I do love that name. Fantastic. It's almost a shame we'll never get any of our ogre puns again. Oni still has a little bit going for it in that regard. Oh, 77% chance of failure? I mean, we hit it first try here, so couldn't possibly have been the wrong move. Let's just try and paralyze you. I'm actually okay fighting the bear, though. Could have come to regret that, but that's fine. And Banish is at 38% failure, so this is coming down now. And as soon as Banish is online, we're in a pretty comfortable spot. Now that I checked the percent, it'll stop working. Yeah, we can never Foxfire again. I think you're onto something there. But honestly, that's not too bad for us at this stage in the run. Ooh, Confusion, on the other hand, is pretty bad for us at this stage in the run. Hopefully not fatal, and does not seem to be the case. So that's fantastic. I guess we're just back at it. Things going fairly straightforward at this stage. What I should do, actually, is start IDing some things. I'm now through enough of this floor that I'm tempted to finish it off, and then just after heading down to D5, we'll do some of the diligence required there, and we'll see what we have available. Can you stop blowing my mind, sir? Okay. Risked it a little bit just trying to finish off the fight. Potentially should have gone for the paralysis, but I'm trying to save those charges since we only have 3 left. We're definitely on the verge of requiring some amount of caution. Oof. That Spike Club Ogre, again, could have been a likely contender for one of those final 3 charges, but that's fine. And let's see what we get here. Okay, we immediately do find our ID scroll. We get curing as well, love that. And then let's start working through, I think to start, some of our scrolls. Teleportation is found, so that's huge. Just as a quick early game answer to any troubles that may plague us here. Ooh, 66% chance, unfortunately. Not as much of a guarantee as we might like. And we'll definitely take you upstairs. Oh, a 2-headed ogre. Oh, even more fun for the whole family. How about that? Let's take a sip before we jump back into this hellhole, shall we? Oh me, oh my. A Serpent Talisman. I'm very curious. I don't know if I've played a Knoll in this version at all. So I am wondering now how talismans will play into it all. What? Oh, that was my last charge. Oh no. I was about to say, what percentage was that even in the first place? An irrelevant amount. It turns out to be the correct answer there. 2 wizardry rings and a See Invisible. None of that is going to be especially helpful here, unfortunately. I mean, do I just have to risk it? I don't know if there's a whole lot of dodging and weaving we can get into here, especially since you weren't slowed by the water. Oh, and we did not do nearly enough damage, it feels like. What are your odds of hitting me? 73% chance to hit. That's too high, friend. Dage. Oof. Even with our +8 chainmail, eh? I mean, I'm kind of curious. This might actually be more damage. 73% chance to work. Oh, we might actually be fine. Hell yeah, brother. Better to be lucky than good. Fantastic. By which I, of course, mean never didn't have it. Fantastic. Work me. I'm a genius. And all that good stuff. Never doubted my mind. Oh, that confusion is going to be a problem, so I think I will curing out of it. And I need to gain access, there we go, to the priest as soon as possible. And then we should be able to finish up. Let's actually put on this Sea Invisible. Might as well be wearing the wizardry. In fact, with the wizardry, Foxfire, no longer looking like quite a problem child here. Okay. Much in the same vein as to what Dan Brandy was talking about before. Now that we've checked the percentages, even 22%, nah, that's just not feasible to hit. We'll fail that every time, of course, guaranteed. There we go. Okay, looks like we are back to being relatively comfortable fighting regular ogres. I mean, as long as the game sees fit to not throw too many two-headed sons of guns at us at this stage in the run, then we're sitting pretty, really. Okay, I can't really bide my distance here because the centaur is going to be a little bit of a problem. But not so much if we're able to take them out, which we do indeed manage to take care of. And more demons would be lovely. We have this Holy Wrath Morningstar. If we could get the most out of that, I would not mind whatsoever. Fantastic. And Steam Dragon could definitely be a problem. There we go. Skin is intact enough for us to wear it, but no real interest. Again, we do have our wonderful chainmail. Wickedly talented. +8 chainmail, I believe. So hopefully we're in a pretty good spot for the foreseeable future. We can take a look at our bank account as well. Okay, we can get that artifact mace. Is that worth it? Or do I save up? We're actually pretty close to the Lagitang as well. Oof, that's a tricky one. Because, of course, door number 3 behind that is save up for the +9 flail. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea, but I'm tempted by that Lagitang. It's been too long since I had a good tangy run, you know what I mean? So I think we will try to make that work. Lagitang is probably the safest bet. Or, yeah, especially actually, I think a big part of that is that artifacts can have negative modifiers versus a basic magical weapon, at the very least, will be a straightforward benefit. Ego Lagitang is almost certainly better than a base flail, even +9. Yeah, right, it had protection on it, which I guess we don't really need at this moment in time. Oh, and actually, speaking of the devil, oops, let's try that again. Let's head on up. But yeah, the base damage on the Lagitang is huge. So as long as we're able to use it, attack delay is actually not too bad. 1.1, I'm fairly happy with that, all things considered. So let's see. Oh my gosh, it's a vampiric Lagitang. Okay, now this run is gonna die to the next enemy I come across. Almost guaranteed. The fates do not like us getting something this incredible without any consequences. Revenge for the Curare, thank you. This time they didn't even use them, of course. And there we go, fantastic. Nikolai on D7, exactly. That's what I'm expecting here. But no, as long as we start to attack a little bit faster here, as our skills continue to increment, we should be able to out-heal the majority of damage that comes our way. Oh, definitely take you upstairs, my friend. Normally I would be upset that you didn't drop your skin, but in this case I'll make an exception because I'm already pretty dang, as they say in ye old England, chuffed to bits with our current setup here. So that is fine by me. And holy moly. Okay, so this should become a tab simulator for the near future. I mean, knowing my luck, this is also likely not to be the case whatsoever, but one can hope and dream. I guess what it all boils down to. would like to put on these gloves before I continually forget that they exist. And otherwise we're sitting pretty. Ooh, if these are nice and cheap. Okay, Degeneration, we can at least buy and get some free ID. I'd like to buy Heal Wounds, because that's also free ID. I guess I could wait just a smidge here. Yeah, we'll wait a minute. It's Tab Simulator until it isn't, exactly. You love tabbing, Robo? You're not alone there. Oh no, I feel like it's never quite been my go-to. Specifically, I think it comes out in the wash when you take a look at like my run times. I'm not a fast DCSS player. Oh shoot, I can't heal off of you sons of guns. Again, tab is great until it isn't. Very much summarizes our feelings at the moment here. Let us get teleport going. Not exactly the solution I was looking for, but let's get teleport going. This I can work with. I think I can out-heal the majority of the damage that will be coming our way. We're still relatively close to that white pack, so we do want to be careful, especially with howler monkeys making a fantastic amount of noise. And not too bad. Let's check out this amulet. Oh, regeneration. That is huge. Definitely toss that bad boy on. And actually, with our wizardry, could get summon small mammals to just put some bodies out there, eh? It's a good chance that isn't the correct decision, but I'm not going to worry too much about it in the short term here. Eventually, it will simulate the result of trying to play Tab Simulator. Yes, we shall see how it goes. Oh, me oh my. Actually, why are these kids? Wand of Flame. Club of Chaos. Interesting. Is this a Chaos Dagger, I'm guessing? It is indeed. At least it's not Distortion. So, happy about that. Should be able to just fight our way through these buddies. In fact, getting hasted, quite lovely at the end of the day. I appreciate that, my friends. Ooh, brand weapon scrolls. I mean, I don't need them because I'm pretty dang happy with our current state of affairs. Okay, I'm going to peel back the curtain a little bit there. I was looking at the ID scroll list, and I chose to ID the stack of 2 scrolls first because I was like, chances are we're not going to have 4 requirement. That would be ridiculous. That would be absurd if that was our 4 stack. So I went with one of the smaller ones, hoping for more rare goods. And then I went to the 4, hoping maybe it's enchant weapon, at the very least. I would take enchant weapon. Turns out, 4 requirement scrolls. So when I was being glib earlier about this being the most incredible run we've ever witnessed, turns out, wasn't actually as silly as I was originally making it out to be. Well, your Knoll's never had this kind of start. See, yeah, I don't know what your problem is. How have you always struggled with Knolls? Just get 4 requirement scrolls, get all the resources you could possibly want for the rest of your run, and win. It's that easy. I don't know why everyone can't do it. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps type mentality. But you found this weapon that was like plus 16, 7 times of demons, and wouldn't let you run away yesterday. It was amazing. Oh, is that... I feel like not being able to run away, the self-mesmerizing, that's the obsidian axe? That's the obsidian axe? I want to call it. It's gone through some changes over the years, but that is a very cool weapon. I'm glad you got to have fun with that.